up, all my five fans? We got ourselves some interesting breaking news. We got ourselves a long awaited, contracted, signed, done deal. Francis Ngannou is now finally signed with a promotion. We've been waiting for this for a very long time. He's been out of the game for well over a year, maybe going on, I say, what, his last fight was January 2022. I can't remember exactly when he was released from his contract, but that we do know that was his last fight. And at the end of the day, he's been constantly going back and forth with multiple different organizations. But at the end of the day, he finally signs with the PFL. Guys, this is going to be some very interesting news. He actually dropped an interview with Ariel Helwani. I was able to listen to that interview, and he actually spoke about a lot of things. He spoke about how he was going to get paid a significant amount of money. He didn't let us know what the details were when it comes to that. He also let us know that his fighters, the guys that he is going to be fighting, has a literally gonna be, the starting point is $2 million. His opponents are gonna make no less than $2 million. It's not no more, it's no less, meaning that these fighters could be making much more money, which is another great thing for other fighters and increasing fighter pay. This is a big step up for fighters all around. This is a big deal for fighters all around that want to try to get out there and try to, make some more money, try to get better deals for themselves and whatnot. Now, of course, I'm going to go with the ins and outs of all this. Right now, I'm going on the ends. I'm going on the good parts. And these are the good parts. You got Francis Ngannou going to be a part of some of the board of directors, I believe, and something to that nature, where he's going to be able to make a lot of good decisions for himself. Again, I just talked about the fighter pay that he's going to get. I'm talking about the significant amount that he's going to be able to make for himself. And also, he has the freedom to go anywhere else he wants to go to. I'm not really talking about MMA, but I'm talking about boxing. He's actually able to box in this contract. He's able to make as much money as he wants outside of the promotion. That's something that he's always wanted. Francis Ngannou has always talked about how he wanted freedom, how he wanted respect. And that's something that he had gotten. In the UFC, he mentioned in this interview that he did not get that kind of respect in the UFC, that he did not get that kind of appreciation. He didn't feel like he was a part of it. He didn't feel like he was, I guess, wanted in some sorts, if you want to say, not to quote him, but it just really seemed like he just didn't feel like he was really wanted there, in a sense. And at the end of the day, in his last fight against Cyril Gane, he only made $600,000 as a heavyweight champion of the world. No such thing has ever happened in the history of combat sports. Anybody that is a heavyweight champion of the world, maybe fighting for the title, I can understand it maybe a little bit, but being the heavyweight champion of the world, you definitely should not be making nowhere near $600,000. You should be making a whopping maybe even $6 million is even a little low for a heavyweight champion of the world. Heavyweight champion of the world is the grand prize. Heavyweight champion of the world, no disrespect to the lighter weight classes, but even going back into the earlier days, the Jack Dempsey days, heavyweight championship of the world has always been the crown jewel of champions. Even before the Super Bowl, even before the World Series, it's always been the number one prize in all of sports. Heavyweight champion of the world. And you cannot tell me that it was right for him to get paid what he got paid. But at the end of the day, that's old news. We got Francis Ngannou going to the PFL. Now let's go into a little bit of the bad part. I definitely respect Francis for doing his thing. I do definitely respect Francis for being able to get out of his contract and doing his own thing and being able to be his own boss and whatnot and making these great deals for himself. But at the end of the day, it's going to be hard for the casual fans. Not the hardcore fans. The hardcore fans, I'm sure, know a thing or two about PFL. I've followed PFL for a little bit. I know Rory McDonald was in there. Anthony Pettis was in there. I believe you also had Fabricio Werdum is in there, but not a whole lot of stars, not a whole lot of the people out there that Francis Ngannou could go fight, and that's something I'm actually going to bring up right now. That's what I'm going to segue into right now. Who is Francis Ngannou really going to fight that's actually going to create really big buzz? Who is he going to fight that's going to create some really big pay-per-view buys? Who is he going to fight that's going to really create really big interest for us wanting to see that? And it's hard. It's really hard for us to really picture that because he needs a name. I'm sorry, but you are not a star by yourself. No one buys a pay-per-view just to see you. It's like you might as well buy a pay-per-view to see you shadowbox. No, we don't do that. We actually buy the pay-per-view to see you fight somebody else and see you compete with somebody else. And that's something that we do. But at the end of the day, we're not getting that now, are we? You know, Francis Ngannou, he is not really fighting anybody or gonna fight anybody that's super popular in the PFL. No disrespect to the PFL. So it really raises a lot of questions on what he's gonna do and how big of a draw is he gonna be in the PFL. You know, I'm sure there's gonna be some interest. I'm sure there's gonna be some fights that he could do, but it's just hard for us to see him compete outside of the UFC, outside of the UFC competitors. He could go against Fabricio Werdum, which might draw a little attention, and who knows, maybe the PFL can actually get another contract signing that can actually create some really good buzz for Francis Ngannou. But until then, it's really hard. You know, it's brand new. Everything just happened recently. We got all this interesting information that we just got. We're still trying to download it. We're still trying to make sense of it. So who knows what might happen? Right now, these are all like little speculations of like about how or who or when he's actually going to compete in the PFL and such like that. So it's going to be continued for this point on, guys. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know. Do you think it was the right signing for Francis Ngannou to do in the PFL? Do you think Francis Ngannou maybe should have went to a different organization? Who do you think Francis Ngannou is going to face in the PFL? Well, let me know all these questions, guys. Let me know all the answers to your questions. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.